So, are you okay with me sending you the pictures in Discord?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The other option is I put them up on the screen that's recording on my left, and you can just look over my shoulder at the picture up here.
If whichever way you want to do it.
Uh, okay. All right, that's fine. Um, oh, I know what I don't have. My
What?
laptop with
You
all my
better
notes. I'm not
you
ready.
better go get it.
All right, I have Lappy Coon.
Hmm.
Leprechaun. All right. I don't even have Keynote open. Okay. File. Open. Spiralia. All of my notes ever, forever. Okay. All right. I'm ready. Are you ready?
Well, I need a roll.
Yes, there will be roll opportunities in this.
Okay, I don't
So
have my dice out.
dice at the ready. But it's kind of wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff, so it may or may not happen. Hey, there's a sleepy puppy behind you.
Is she a sweet baby?
She's smashed into the pillow like a human.
Hey, baby.
See? Isn't she adorable?
She's a beauty.
I
I
love that I
love
get
her.
to look at her through your camera. That's wonderful.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
she's adorable. Okay. All right. Last time you went to Mother's house. She introduced herself to you guys and asked Xavier to get some samples from around the room as she brewed a potion and started a ritual and asked you to grab a couple things for her. I think it was in a drawer. You grabbed a Taroka deck and threw it into the pot as she was doing her incantation. And then she told you all to go and find your reflections in the main room. So you all went out to the main room. I think you and Xavier had a speed contest to see who could get to the Albemic. He got to it first. So you took the onyx mirror. Quite fitting. The polished oval stone mirror that you looked into and saw your reflection, and you felt something try to penetrate your mind. You felt a spell. At first, you had reservations about whether or not to let it happen or to resist it. I believe at first you tried to resist, and then you changed your mind.
I just knew I had the choice to resist.
Right. And so you did. But then once you saw everyone else kind of go with the flow, so to speak, um, you dove in headlong um, as your reflection pulled you into the void, and there you float. Do you have a question?
Is that a voice I hear, or is that the DM asking
That's the
me?
DM asking. You went. I thought maybe you were building up to a question. You took a deep breath.
I just needed to breathe.
Okay. All right. You just needed to breathe. Good. All right. So you are floating in this black void, and it's not like darkness. It's just emptiness, nothingness, and you're just there.
Am I weightless?
It feels like you're, yeah, floating.
If I like turn around, can I see anybody? I want to look
Yeah,
around the darkness
you
for
turn
any.
around and try to reposition yourself to get a glance in every direction. Roll a perception check for me.
I don't have D&D Beyond open.
Mm-hmm. How easily
But
we forget our things.
16 on the die, so it's gonna be above 16.
I think
So
perception's pretty good. Or maybe investigation? I can't remember.
it'd be perception,
One of those is pretty
right?
high.
I'm almost there.
Not like Genevieve, she's stupidly perceptive.
My perception's a +0.
Okay, still
So
not too bad.
16.
You do notice there's another small point of light that approaches you from behind. It begins to grow until it fills that dark void, and you're again confronted by your reflection. But now you are the reflection. Cast in a murky blue light, you stare back at the real you in the room where you were. And behind you are your friends, also transfixed on their reflections in their different objects. And to your horror, the real you smiles, but you're not smiling. You reveals a hand from behind her back, clutching two Taroka cards. She hands them to you. The
Through
tips
the
of
mirror?
them, yeah, the tips of them pierce like a liquidy membrane of the mirror and pierce through it. You begin to see that blue sheen give way to the black crisp edges of two cards. You hear Mother's voice echoing behind you. Don't miss it.
I look at the cards.
Okay, you reach up and
Yeah, I'll take the
grab the
cards.
cards. As soon as you grasp the cards, you are thrust backwards again into the void, and your reflection disappears into a tiny speck in the distance, almost instantly. Then
Ki-
two more points appear to your left and to your right. They approach at an equal speed, quickly, at the same time growing into the outlines of giant doorways covered in patterns and shapes. They begin to rotate in space, revealing their opposite sides. There's two giant Taroka cards looming on either side of you, like the doors of an Iron Maiden shutting you inside. The two images merge at your feet like a parting line between two worlds, with you in the middle. There's a hatch in the Iron Maiden on either side, and a small window peers out into two landscapes split down the middle.
Okay, what are the landscapes?
Which one do you want to look at first? To your left or to your right?
You mean there's two hatches?
Yes, like two halves of a clamshell Iron Maiden.
Can I feel that it's iron? Is it a physical thing?
You've seen an Iron Maiden before.
No, I just meant what is it? Does it feel worldly? Or
Yes,
is it all
it is
dreamy warm?
corporeal, it feels solid.
Hmm. And then in this space that we're in, do I feel like I can use magic? I want to cast light on my cup.
Okay,
I said my cup?
yeah.
Yes. I just want to see, does
You
magic
cast,
cast in this
yeah,
space?
you cast light on your cup and it illuminates the space inside this Iron Maiden. You can see now the kind of uh, speckled, rough surface of cast iron, and there are spikes on the wall that you managed to avoid when you felt the walls.
Get real skinny?
You get a little bit skinnier, yeah, and you see now those two portholes.
Okay. I'm holding my cup.
And there's a
Um,
seam and hinges, on the inside.
all right, I'll look to the right.
Okay, you look to the right. There's a murky swamp out the small viewing window.
Hmm.
The craggy stalks of dead plants decay on either side of a narrow, muddy path. It winds through rocky protrusions that are covered in the roots of leafless, gnarled black trees. A mist obscures the area around you, and occasionally shifts to reveal gravestones that have sunken
Ooh.
into the bog amongst mossy mounds of earth. But,
Do I
yeah,
do I recognize the swamp?
roll a history check.
I mean, I like swamps. Ooh, 18 on the die. 18 plus 4, 22.
22. Okay, hang on just a second.
I've been to a lot of swamps and a lot of graveyards and swamps.
I have to look up some information I did not think I was going to look up.
You didn't think I'd ask if I'd been to
I
the
didn't.
swamp before?
Okay, here we go. This
Okay.
reminds you of Adhistig Volgi back
Oh,
on Auberg.
on Auburn. Oh, it's a Hevisti Volgi, of course. I love
It
Hevisti
is the
Volgi.
swamp that separates the valley where you once lived, very peaceful and quiet, from
Yeah.
the murky swamp in the north of Auberg.
So do I know who's buried here? Like I've been to this graveyard before?
If you could get closer to the headstones, maybe you could see.
Okay. All right. So anyway, go on. I'm seeing the scene.
Hmm.
I'm looking at home.
Okay,
I like my swamp.
roll a perception check.
6 plus 0, 6.
6. It is very misty, and you think you see something bigger in the distance, but you can't make out the details. But there's something darker than the mist that's staying put in the distance, and it's very big.
Like a castle or something? Like I would know it's in that direction, right?
With
If I've
that
like hiked this.
perception check, no, unfortunately, the fog is a little bit too thick.
I've been away from home too long. I'm forgetting Hevisti Volgi, my favorite swamp.
It does look similar.
Okay. All right. I'm looking at the swamp. Is that all? So that's it?
What do you do?
Oh.
You're
Ooh.
inside an Iron Maiden.
Yeah, I'm just having a look. So that's
Okay,
all I see. That's all I
that's
perceive.
that's what you see.
It's a nice swamp with some tombstones.
Hmm.
Okay. Look at the left side.
All right, you look out the left side. There is a field of tall, dried amber corn stalks. The dark sky is restless with scattered storm clouds. It's nighttime. Passing through the dusty cornfield are moonbeams that illuminate patches of the field like scanning searchlights. Distant clouds of black mist and the cawing of crows give you a familiar chill. The wind parts the corn rows for a moment, revealing a path where a figure stands motionless deep in the distant dark field with its head slumped over.
Humanoid?
Humanoid, yes. Behind you, still the dark brown Iron Maiden.
Wait, what's behind me?
It's still the same, just Iron Maiden with the porthole looking at the swamp.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, no, I was looking through the. Did it. The figure off in the distance, is it humanoid sized, medium sized? Or is it like a giant?
Roll a perception check for me.
17.
It is humanoid. It looks like maybe, you know, could be human.
Is. Do I recognize this space?
Roll a
These
history
amber
check.
waves of grain? A 6!
Now roll a religion check.
I get a plus a 10.
No. I mean, it's a cornfield. It's spooky. Nighttime.
Mm, I'm not that into agriculture.
Okay, so I'm going to show you now what you see out those porthole windows. For your benefit, I'll put them up on the big screen here. Let's see here. Okay, so first, this tiny, tiny, tiny picture that I'm trying to make bigger. That's what you see. That's up on my screen.
Oh, you didn't put them. So that's on the right side.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Make
And
this.
that's Auberg, or it looks like
There we
Auberg, I
go.
think.
Yep. Okay.
Vistivargi in Auberg.
Yeah, Eldisi Volgi.
Il Volgi
Can't
in
remember what that
Auberg.
means in Hungarian, but
Il Volgi.
okay.
Okay,
And
so Il
then on
Volgi.
the other side, if it'll open, you see this.
Ooh, so wait, I see as that,
It's
or is the
it's
figure
like
different?
cornfield parted in the wind, and there's a path that goes up, and you can see there's a figure, a humanoid figure in the distance, similar to this, but same feeling, but it doesn't have the fence and the windmill in the background.
Okay. All right.
This was the best thing I could find that looked even close to what I was wanting.
Yeah. Yeah, that's no, I'm just thinking. Um, you's just gonna call out. Mom?
Wait,
Mother?
you're gonna call mother? Okay.
Yeah, just I'm not really sure what you're looking for.
Which way are you gonna call out to, or just where you are?
Just up.
Just up.
I'm
Okay.
just in the I'm just in the Iron Maiden.
Okay. There's no response. You wait a minute. It's starting to get kind of hot and muggy inside the Iron Maiden.
Um, is it locked? Can I push it open?
Which side would you like to try to push open?
Oh no, it's a choice. Um, I'm gonna I'm gonna open the right side, the Auberg side, because I like Auberg.
Alright, the Auberg side. So you push open the Iron Maiden. There is a clasp on the inside that releases it, and a large creaking sound as it opens up, and you can see the swamp now laid out before you.
Okay.
Your boot squelches into the mud when you step forward.
Hmm.
Your footprints fill with water behind you, and soon you're surrounded by the mist.
Does this feel like dreamy, or does it feel like when I go into Otherweir? Is this like, do I think I've actually
This is magic.
changed
This is illusion.
location
It's
in a
it's
play?
illusion
It's
magic.
illusion. Yeah. Okay.
You're not sure exactly what kind of illusion magic, but as a wizard, you'd be like, "This is all illusory. It's probably all in my head."
Right. So I'm just having a walk,
Okay.
and
You
I'll
want to
just
continue on?
talk to. Yeah, I want to go towards the graves.
Okay. Yeah, you stay on the muddy path, but there's it gets a little bit deeper. You assume the water because you can't see the ground through the mist. And then the gravestones, you can see there's like mounds that are further out that protrude up from probably deeper water. You can venture into the deeper water closer to the gravestones if you'd like.
Yeah, I'm going to. I guess as I move towards get in the water, move towards the gravestones, conjure and hold. Um, I'll just do a cantrip. I'll just conjure and hold chill touch.
Chill touch. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it's not concentration? Oh no, wait. You have to concentrate, I think, to hold a.
To do it.
No,
Well,
it's just a hold
it's
spell.
until an
Yeah, you're
action
fine.
happens. So I'm
Well, I'm
just
wondering about the light.
conjuring.
The light is still on your cup.
Light's a cantrip. It's
Okay,
not a
so you're fine.
concentration.
Yeah, your
No, no,
light
no.
stays up. You hold
So
your
I'm
spell.
just my hands are getting frosty and misty. I'm just if something were to like try to jump
Okay,
scare me,
very
I
good.
just want something. So yeah, I want to walk towards
Yeah,
the graves, and I'm just gonna
all right.
talk out loud. Mother, I met your sister back at the Pharaohs. We had a long conversation. We talked about the end of all life in this plane, the apocalypse. Just squelching towards the graves.
You hear nothing but silence. And then in the distance,
Just
a
gonna keep
raven.
talking. And I heard that ever since we landed here, Sofkeen and I, that is, you've wanted to see us, actually, since the very first moment we put boots on the ground. And so just thought, we finally made it here. It's just been a couple weeks. We've been sidelined a little. We didn't make it as fast as we thought we would. We met your kid. We love Xavier. He's great in the group. We want to keep him. We keep him safe. We're not going to get him hurt. Just
You
walking up
continue
to
to
these groups.
squelch through. Now you are almost waist deep in water as you're kind of wading through this murky swamp.
Mhm.
You can feel your boots start to fill with liquid. It is not pleasant,
Oh, yeah.
and it smells like decayed flesh and rotting plants, and
I
the
mean, that's the
slight
swamp.
hint of sulfur, which sends off some alarms.
I don't know if this is your memory or mine, but I mean, you make a good swamp.
It's humid, despite your cold breath.
Oh, yeah, that swamp.
Along the path, as you squelch through, you eventually come to a mound. And you can see there are sprinkled tombstones, some with moss covered on them, some of them broken and
Mm.
crumbled. And you look through the fog, and it parts the mist for a minute, and you see more of these mounds, hundreds of gravestones.
Do I remember any of this from Auburg? Do I remember
No.
ever being here before or anything? All right. So your memories then. Like I want to approach them. I want to approach the
Okay.
Moundy graves.
You go up to one of the larger ones on the mound that has a visible epitaph of some sort carved in the surface. What languages do you know?
Not any good ones. Abyssal, Common, Deep Speech, and other Weirin. That's it.
All right. In Otherwherein, you see a script that you haven't seen in a very long time since you and Garamond studied in your snowy cabin one winter. The not infernal, not abyssal, but some odd remnant or a combination of an ancient or proto version of these languages known as Otherwearian. At the
Mm.
time, you didn't understand the impact, but now it puzzles you to see a headstone written in this language, and on the surface, the name Anne Talent is written.
Oh, I know that name, don't I? And Talent? And the Talents? Is that. Have I heard that name before, DM?
Roll a history check.
Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to open my. Okay, my notes. 11 plus 8, 19.
19. Two things come to mind. First, the founders. There is the 12th founder, the first one to kind of disappear. Their legend kind of a little bit murky. There
Okay.
are worshippers of this founder, but they are very few and far between, and they don't
Hmm.
publicly advertise it because it's a little bit of a faux pas for this particular founder. Um, but
Was
Talent was
she
the last name.
was she a necromancer? Is that why it's a faux pas? We're not very liked in
It's just
Spiralia.
it's a name that's not really spoken of. You don't see like idol worship like the other founders of this particular founder. Um, you just know them to be one of the maybe lesser known ones, or less is known about them. The other thing that rings a bell,
Okay.
the last time, not the last time, the time before last that you destroyed a mind stone in Otherweir, you had an
Yeah.
encounter with a ghost, a spirit. That spirit gave you some kind of power, and her name was Anne.
Oh, when we destroyed the Mind Stone?
Mhm.
You mean when I was on the other side of it?
That's right, and you knew her to be your grandmother.
Oh, but that doesn't make sense. Because this is like an old proto language. So this is way older than a grandmother would be.
It brings a little bit of a chill to your spine to see the grave of this person. And it's like something's trying to click in your mind. Points are trying to connect, like conspiracy theories that just don't quite add up right now.
Okay. Um,
You
interesting.
begin to shiver a little bit, clutching yourself closely as your breath comes out in a puff of cold. And now you're wet on this mound.
And I'm just gonna keep talking to Mother.
Okay.
And I'm down here because I think you might have some information about the modus conduits that are sprinkled throughout Spiralia that we kind of need, to destroy. So hopefully we can talk about that and
You hear
maybe.
another "Caw!" and then above you.
Yeah, but do I have Krampus with me?
You do not. But Krampus exists if you would like to bring him into existence here.
Yeah, I'm gonna like snap my fingers and bring Krampus in
You snap your
just to hang
fingers
out.
and Krampus appears on your shoulder.
Interesting. So Krampus can be here in this illusory world. All right, I want to look at some of the other tombstones. And can I get up out of the muck? Can I?
Yeah, you're up out of the muck on a mound, but you have to go back into it to get to the next mound. There's another
How far?
large headstone, maybe about 10 feet away.
Okay, go to that one.
Okay, you go to the next one. This one's also written in Otherwarian. It says Atraxa Eluxia.
How do you spell Atraxa?
Atraxa.
How do you spell Luxia?
Illuxia.
Okay. I know the name Aluxia, right? Who's that? Who are the Aluxias? Are they the ones on Auberg that live in the castle?
No, no, those are the Aubergs. The Auburnells,
No,
sorry.
not the Aubergs.
The
No, not
Auburnells.
the
The
Auberg.
Auburnell is the royal family that lives in the castle in the Christoval. But no, 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 no. Eluxia, you recognize that name. Roll a history check,
Oh, Seda recognizes nothing.
but you might.
16 plus 8.
Eluxia. Okay, yeah, that
24.
name. There were two people that introduced themselves with the last name Eluxia. One was Genoa, the head of the pharaohs. The other one was the guy that sat on the Liberty Council.
So this is Mother's last name. If it's Genoa's last name,
Yeah,
probably.
you assume so, yeah.
Okay. Is this your mom? Your grandma? Your great 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 grandma? Look pretty old. Luxia. Um, are there any dates on these tombstones or just
Just
names?
names.
Okay. Um, I wish I had a way to tell where I actually was. I don't have any magic that would tell me where I am. Um, well, I like my chances with an elixir. I'm gonna stand back and dance macabre.
Okay.
Because I don't have raise the dead. I only have dance macabre. Well, actually, dance macabre I can raise 3 people.
Yes, you can. What's the range?
60 feet.
Hmm.
But
There's enough graves within 60 feet. You could do three.
I don't know if there's any point to this. Because I don't have. Oh, no, I do have Speak with the Dead. Okay. Well, are there any other big headstones near me besides these two?
Yeah, they're dotted down the way, just off of the muddy path. But you have to go from mound to mound to get to them. They're in little clusters.
Okay, let's talk with Grandma. I'm going to cast Dance Macabre on these two.
Okay. You cast Dance Macabre,
Um,
but instead of the skeletons that you're used to, spectral figures in a bluish hue begin to rise up out of the ground where they were buried.
this is
They
not how this works.
float outward. One, two, three, four, five, six.
Oh.
More and more keep rising out of all of the headstones around you, and they begin to drift past you as if they don't even notice up the path. The mist begins to part a little bit more, and now you can see in the distance this shape. It, it's darker than black.
Oh.
It's looming deep within the mist, taller than anything else. And there are hundreds of twisted horns atop it. The spirits continue to drift in hordes, 20, 40, hundreds of them from this field, this swamp.
Wait, the figure, it's a it's a creature figure or it's like a building?
It's too hard to tell, it's just a shape at this point.
All right. I'll go with the shades.
Alright.
I don't think Mother's here to murder me.
You continue on and trudge through the
Just
mud, the
carry
muck,
on.
the water. Um, Hill after hill, you glance at the headstones as you pass. Gillian Talent, Garamond.
Wait, where's Garamond?
You see a middle-sized gravestone with a little chunk fallen off of it. A modest little mound with moss atop it. And on the headstone is Garamond. No last name, just that name written in Otherwarian.
I think the only person that would bury Garamond would be me. So this must be Garamond's great 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 grandfather. Did I see his shade come up, or is it
Roll a
just they're all
perception
just
check. There's hundreds of them.
a natural one?
It's too hard to make them out in the crowd.
Ah, I missed you again, Garamond. Can I? I'm. Never mind. Never mind.
Continue on.
Yep.
The next headstone reads Dranendir. Then another Hexen Bane. These names don't sound familiar.
Okay.
It's hard to arrive at a connection.
Do I? What about just like the last name Bane? Is that a normal last name?
Roll a history check.
13 plus 8. 21.
It's not normal. It is very unique. You've only read about it once.
Ooh.
There is a legendary, famed warlock from the Age of Arcana with the last name Bane.
What?
You don't remember the
I don't.
context, you don't remember the book, but that last name you remember has something
I
to
just
do with an old ancient warlock.
just don't understand what all these people have in common. Like, why are they here? Why are they in like a place that looks like Auburg, buried in all these mounds? I don't. Do I have any idea what any of these names have in common? Why would they all be together? Oh, are they all in the Raven Queen cult? Is this a cult? Mother! You're not in the cult, are you? Got ravens. I just realized you sent a raven. Damn it.
You don't
Alright.
hear the cawing in response.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to continue
Some
on?
raven.
Alright.
Yes! Raven Queen crap.
You finally reach the end of this muddy path and step into a clearing. There's a large mound of mossy dirt. The roots of a dark black tree squirm through the earth to the center, where the darker than black tree stretches its 100 horns up into the mist. Beneath the
Darker.
tree are 9 freshly dug graves, empty, but each with a headstone and a name.
Oh man. I know where this is going.
Behind you, you see the mist part just enough that you can catch a glimpse, just a hint, of the Iron Maiden with its door slightly ajar. Then the
Mm-hmm.
fog goes back and obscures it.
Alright, I'm gonna go check out these graves.
When you walk up to the gravestones, you almost lose your breath when you read the first. Not in Otherwearian, just in common, is the name Safkeen Alersoth.
I knew this was coming. I don't think I'm that shocked if I. Alright, Mother. Let's see here. Let me guess. The next one's Lindell. We got Xavier here. Let's walk on down the line. Who else is in our group? We got. Oh, here's Genevieve.
Mm-hmm.
Um, can't kill Lafayette twice. I guess he's not
No, the
here.
next one is confusing. The next one reads Corvus Corax.
Corvus, like a raven. Okay.
The
What's
next
next?
one reads Leomander Sandstalker.
Oh.
The next, Carlton Clarence.
Oh, I'm gonna get Carlton killed.
The second one, to the last, Lilith Braddock. And the final headstone is blank.
I didn't pass my own yet, right?
Nope.
Oh. Okay. Right. So the old I'm gonna get everybody I love killed spiel. Mother, can't we just have a conversation like normal people? Like a normal warlock and a normal witch?
You hear the twisting creaks and snaps of wood bending. The bark of the tree begins to split into an arched hole, and the roots curl into a wry grin. Yellowish green
Ugh.
sap oozes from two knots above it, like crying eyes, and a flow of glowing, wispy energy slowly leaks from its wide maw. The souls of the dead begin to, like an audience, surround the mound on all sides, leaving just you and the tree and this audience of hundreds of souls.
Okay. Is anything happening?
You just hear silence, the drifting spirits, the slight crack of wood.
Are they like going into the tree? Are they just looking at the tree?
Just
Are they flying?
surrounding you.
But the tree's not talking to me?
No.
Oh. Nobody can stand a long silence, so I'll just stare at it.
30 seconds goes by. You feel your eyes dry as you stare.
I don't blink. I just mean.
A minute goes by, and again you hear the creak as some of the vines begin to move. The grin parts. The maw opens. Who are you? The spirits, like an audience all around you, moan simultaneously.
I am you, Auburnell, Master Exorcist, and daughter of the Auburnell family from Auburg. Are we on Auburg? I travel all of Spiralia with my trusty companions, and we perform exorcisms, cleansings. We'll get rid of your goblin problems. We probably get rid of some of your demons, maybe.
Returns to silence.
Tough sell. Demon tree. Oh, do I have any knowledge of a demon tree? Oh, is this a Golthius tree? What is this? Is this a Golthius
Roll a
tree?
nature check as the creaking sound returns to the maw, and it once again moves, saying, "What do you fear?" And all of the spirits reply, "Fear." How'd you roll?
I'm a natural 20.
It is a Gulthius tree.
I found a Golthius tree! Xavier's been looking for one of these. Oh, wait. Are we supposed to kill Golthius trees? I don't really remember. You've had a tough week. um, wait, I think. I'm so excited, I forgot what I fear. I fear darkness. I should have prepared something ahead of time. Not much. That's yeah. It's just really not much. Look around.
It's
Pretty used to the
it's a
ghosts.
pretty stiff crowd.
Yeah, I'm kind of
Yep.
okay with the ghosts. I'm okay
Yep.
with the demons.
Literal
Yeah,
dead silence here.
yeah. The swamp is nice, but it's not really scary.
After an
Uh,
uncomfortably pregnant pause, you hear the voice again return. You, Auburnell, we share a hunger. And all of the spirits reply, hunger. We are bound in otherwhere. Bound. The hunger grows deep. Deep.
oh,
We have tried to fill it for him. Fill. We have been loyal. His eternal entrails full with our work. Eternity.
oh. This is. Yep. Me too. Full of hunger. Hunger for Ordog. Yep. That's what's going on here. Let's look all around.
This voice, so deep and old, you recognize it. It draws us closer, but it is not my own. Closer. You do recognize the voice. You heard it once before, when you banished Lithobolia to Otherweir and fed it to Ordog.
Wait, this is the voice of Ordog? Ordog's a tree? No. Ordog's not a tree. He does have a lot of horns. No. Wait, you're saying this voice is what spoke to me? What about my whole life whenever Ordog has spoken to me? It's been this voice? But Ordog's a stag. He's a big black stag. No? Have I not been talking to Ordog? Have I been talking to Xavier's dad the whole time?
Will the final
Uh,
meal we feed him be our own souls? Souls.
See, you already know what I fear. Asking all these long listed questions.
We do not suffer his powers gladly, but we still answer his whispers. Powers.
Who are you?
Do you
I
know
know.
what the Pharos is?
Loosely.
The Pharos is a raven perched atop Ordog's antlers. They pluck the low-hanging fruit as we reap in the fields at his feet. Reap.
So, what do you want to do about it?
The raven plucks the Dark Lord's eyes. Blinded, he seduces the dragon in the deep. Deep. His hunger grows, but his power does not. It is the Dark Lord's meddling. Dark. You hear his whispers?
Yes?
Will you abandon your patron?
I get asked this question a lot, especially recently. So, uh, still figuring that out. Mother!
Or will you make the ultimate sacrifice to save our master? Save.
First off, he's not my master. He's a jerk, okay? We've never gotten along. I've had to serve him my entire life. And it's just even recently that anybody's told me that I don't have to serve him my entire life. And I keep getting asked this question. It's like the fourth time this week. And I'm just going to need some time to figure it out. Okay, Mother? I know you're listening.
The tree laughs, and you hear the caw behind you. Caw! A raven
There she is.
swoops down from one of the branches and flies away in the direction of the field behind you into the Iron Maiden, almost laughing as it caws.
Damn it, Mother. Is that Mother? I'm going to chase the raven.
The spirits all begin to drift into the dark tree's mouth opening. One by
Oh.
one, they are sucked in, almost as if it's taking a deep breath. And we're going to pause there while you answer a phone call. is the fucking way to go, right? All right. Yeah, he said a bunch of stuff. Yeah. Okay. So last. Yeah, you mentioned hunger. I'll go back all through this stuff with you. You don't have to write it all down. I've already got it written down. So. And then Edgar Allan Poe came along and said nevermore. And then there was a telltale heart buried in the floorboards, and a pendulum swinging over you that cut you in half. You is gonna bury herself in a brick wall and let this figure itself out. I know, and no answers. I'm necromancer. I can't figure anything out immediately. I have to harm. All right. So last thing that happened, Raven flew off in the mist. All right. So you head back up the muddy path as the tree continues to inhale all of the souls. They drift past you faster and faster, just whipping past you as you trudge up the muddy trail towards the Iron Maiden that is slowly beginning to shut.
Do I get in there?
Roll an athletics check for me. You're on rough
I'll just
terrain.
I'll just Misty step in there.
Boom, Misty Step, you're inside it,
Boom.
and it closes behind you.
Is the Raven in here? Do I have to catch
No,
a Raven?
the Raven is not, but the door on the other side is cracked open a bit, and you can see the pale moonlight on the other side.
Mother. Okay, just walk out into the pale moonlight.
Alright, you walk out into the pale moonlight.
Let me guess. I'm about to meet the Raven Queen.
You step between the rows of corn as they blow, covering your face with a hand to protect it from the whipping stalks of corn. A moonbeam illuminates the path for a moment, and you see that dark figure. It's above the ground, and its arms are outstretched. The sunken head has long black hair that whips across with every gust of wind. The head slack.
It's a scarecrow. I'm seeing a scarecrow.
You crunch through the husks and broken stalks, pushing closer until you see a corpse posed upon a
Oh.
stake.
Oh, corpse. Do I recognize it? Do I know this person?
No. Its arms are draped outward on this wooden beam. It's kind of stuck through its shoulders, held up by whatever cloth it's wearing over its torso. Its hair is obscuring the face.
Human? Humanoid? Human?
Looks human or humanoid.
Okay.
A loud caw echoes over the field as a single raven swoops down and perches atop the corpse's head. It looks down at you, its black eyes blinking, feathers ruffling in the breeze.
Mother?
Ah! The raven pulls back the head of the corpse with one of its talons.
Ooh.
You don't recognize the face, but it begins to peck at the mummified body
No, don't
of this
do
young
that.
woman. Her
gonna
mouth
whack
is
the raven.
outstretched into an eerie grin as the pieces of her skull begin to shatter off and fall to the ground until the raven has hollowed out the inside of its skull.
What are you doing, you dang bird?
Only the back of the skull and the eye sockets are left. As it jumps inside, its eyes peering through hers, the beak protruding out the hole like a plague mask.
I can see where Xavier got his sense of humor.
A flock of 13 blackbirds join in from amongst the field, perching on corn stalks surrounding you and the corpse like an audience in the middle of this stormy field.
Round two. I know. Ask me, who am I loyal to? What's my biggest fear? What am I doing with my life?
The raven in the corpse opens its beak and squawks. You are?
You, Auburnell, master exorcist from the Auburnell family of Auberg. I am here. I traveled through Spiralia, performing exorcisms,
Do you court
cleansing.
death?
Yes! Yes, that's an easy question.
You,
Yes.
Auburnell, we share a kinship as well. Come to her
Yes.
playground. The monsters are our playmates, the shadows our comfort. With her, you'll never die. All the birds around you go, never, never, never.
Oh, this is a Raven Queen thing. Okay,
She
go
will make
on.
you a god amongst the dead and the living.
Mm-hmm. Selling
Do you
it
know what the Pharos is?
loosely.
A
What's
moonbeam like a beacon in the darkness to show you the way. Ascend.
Yeah, that has a lot of rules though.
Ascend! 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 They all take flight. The raven pops out of the skull and flies behind you, perching near the path leading back toward the swamp. The other crows line up.
Your Majesty, Your Highness.
A crown of dark, shadowy antlers begin to sprout from the raven's head.
Ooh, ooh.
Or would you go deeper into the dark, down the path I chose? Down the entrails of insanity. It certainly won't be lonely.
That is the first shock she's had on this journey. Hell! All right, all right.
The raven ruffles its feathers and sheds the antlers as they flutter off like black feathers in the wind.
Huh.
It flies back towards the corpse's skull, taking a
Okay.
wide berth around you.
I know. I just talked to the Gulthius tree that sometimes talks in my head, and I'm gonna give you the same answer, and that's that I'm not giving you an answer. Mother, I'm not giving you an answer. Okay? There's more than two choices here. I don't know why you guys keep thinking there are just two choices.
The round black orbs stare and blink at you from the crow's head. The crow slowly waddles on its little talons around 90 degrees facing behind, and the moonbeams that were once panning through the fields as the clouds moved overhead all begin to drift into a single file line, illuminating a path beyond the raven and the corpse, further this direction.
All right.
Continue on, crunching through the field, emerging from the edge. There's a cliff ahead, looking out onto a barren battlefield beneath the cornfields up high on the ridge. And there are legions of skeleton soldiers standing at the ready in single file phalanxes. There's something floating at the edge of the cliff. A crown of teeth from some large animal, adorned with a raven's feather on either side. It floats at the edge of the cliff.
Okay. Looks like we're going to battle. I'm not putting that thing on. Mother. I don't want to put anything on. I'm just. I don't really need anything. I don't need an army. I don't need followers. I don't really need, you know, fellowship with the dead.
You
So.
feel something touch your shoulder from behind.
Whoa.
You turn around,
Yeah.
and in the distance behind the Iron Maiden, you see a smoky mist in the shape of a stag drift into the Iron Maiden and disappear. The door begins to swing.
No, no, no. Going back, going back. I want to chase a stag.
You turn around, you run
I want to
back?
run back, run back.
Alright, you run
Yes.
back through the field, past the corpse, past the crow, dashing over. Roll an athletics check for me.
Oh. That's not good. Athletics is a +0. I got an 8.
Ah, not quite enough. The door
Can
shuts
I miss?
and
Oh.
clasps, and you see it begin to shimmer and disappear.
All right. This isn't my first dream rodeo. Wait, are there rodeos in Spiralia? This isn't
Maybe
my
wherever the
first.
Raven Queen is from, right?
This isn't my first
You know, it's
dream
centaur. It's,
coliseum.
it's centaurs though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's my. This isn't my first centaur rodeo.
There you go. You hear the crows laughing in the distance.
See, nothing is tempting because I don't really need anything. I don't know what you. Okay, what are you gonna give me? You gonna show me a big pile of gold? You're gonna show me a pretty castle on a hill? I mean, I don't really need anything. Just kicking stones. Huh? Mother! Miss Eluxia! Miss Sister of the head of the Pharaohs! Miss Raven Queen! I don't know!
You hear Mother's voice in your head.
Oh!
I'm sorry. Not everyone gets to make a choice. But we either let it happen or make it happen. You can try the crown, or you can find your reflection. The choice is yours. I am curious what would happen with that crown, though. The voice disappears. You can push it out if you want. I'm sorry, I should have given you the option because of your scarab.
Well, no, I mean, I'm calling out to her because
Right.
trying to figure out what she wants.
You would feel it piercing your mind, though, and
Yeah. But that crown is what you want, or what you want me to want. But I'm not really into wars anyway. So I guess we'll just hang out here until my reflection comes back. Me and the dead person. Oh, hey! I want to cast Speak with the Dead on the Scarecrow.
okay.
Dead.
Yeah, you go back up to the corpse where the raven is still perched up on top of the head.
Get out of its
You
skull.
wave at
Get
the bird, and it flaps, flies over, perching, just watching from the corn.
Okay, I want to cast with my nice purpley magic. Speak with the Dead. I forget how this works.
The corpse's head opens, exhaling the empty sockets, the chipped away jaw that should not be able to have breath, yet somehow does. It peers back at you, just silent. The hair whipping in the breeze. You can tell it's a woman. But her face is leathery and rotten.
Hello. Just have a few questions for you since we the only people, around here that can talk. I'm getting tired of talking to ravens and trees and stags and anyway, who are you? Do you remember? What's your name?
Hexenbane.
Oh, Hexen Bane's a woman. That's cool. I didn't know that. All right, that's not my next question though. Wait. Hexen Bane, the famous warlock. You're a famous warlock. Um, why are you here? Who, like, what? Where are we? Where is this? Where'd you die? Is that too many questions? Where are we?
I don't know.
How did you die?
I killed myself.
Oh. Why did you kill yourself?
To seal the curse.
Oh no. I've got a curse. This wouldn't happen to be a long-winded generational blood curse, would it? What curse? What's the curse?
I cursed the Fomorians.
Do I know what the Formorians are? DM?
Roll a history check.
18.
Rings a bell. Maybe from a monster book?
Oh, monster. The Formorians.
Maybe something you saw in Lafayette's office?
Hmm.
Whatever it is, you think it's big.
Okay.
But you've never seen
Hold
one.
on. Curse.
It was new to you as of maybe a week ago.
Okay. The Formorians. Well, that's my fifth question, so. Wow. I can't wait to tell everybody I met Hex and Bane. Okay. I am going to walk up and look over the cliff again. What did Mother mean I could find my own reflection? Where's my reflection? Where is it? Like, I'm looking around. Am I looking for the mirror? Am I
Roll
looking for the mirror?
investigation. Roll an investigation check.
Natural
You find
20.
something in your bag on your person that is reflective.
Oh.
So choose one item that you think would be the most reflective that you own that is on you in your inventory.
That's a good question. I don't know. Do I have a mirror? I have a spoon. Oh no, it's a wooden spoon. Never mind. That's not. What about my Hero of Seon pin? Is the back of it metal? Oh, I have a dagger.
Okay, you pull out your
I
dagger.
haven't. Yeah.
You pull out your dagger and easily you find your reflection in the clean blade.
Mhm.
The reflection winks back at you
Hey yo.
and reaches out. And as it reaches
Oh.
out, you notice in your peripheral the crown begins to spin and a green energy shoots out of it like
Can I
lightning.
dodge?
You don't need to dodge it because it is shooting down the cliff. It hits, striking one of the skeletons, and the skeleton begins to seize. From the head of the next skeleton, another one, and a network begins to form, connecting the heads of all of these skeletons to the energy emitting from this crown. You hear the troops stand at a ready, and the hand reaches out, grabbing you, and pulls you into the
Ugh.
reflection in the dagger, and you are
Mm.
thrust back into the void once again. The nothingness, the emptiness, the silence of nothing. You float there.
Mother?
Your vision focuses, and you see something above you, moving downward. It's an orange light above you in the void. It's swirling and bubbling. It's a circle of liquid. When it gets close enough, you see there's a large ladle stirring, a whirling fluid. And through it, the wavy image of Mother's face looking down at you.
Oh.
My sister read you once.
Yes.
She read the Dark Lord wrong.
Well, the you mean Ordog?
The Dark Lord is not our master. He holds our master in bondage.
Oh wait, the Raven Queen?
No, the Dark Lord.
What? What? I don't. The Golthius tree? I don't.
I don't believe the Gulthius tree is working for or aligned with the Dark Lord. That's why our Savior, he's so important.
I don't. I only know one Dark Lord. I only have Ordog.
Or-
That's
Ordog would grant us the power to end his own suffering and ours if her if his mind were whole. But the Dark
okay.
Lord has fragmented it to make something. He has stolen our master's power, and we must make him whole again.
But wait, I thought. Are you saying you're not with the Pharaohs? Are you not? I thought you were in with the Ravens. What is?
Once, I was with the Pharaohs. And yes, the Pharaohs, the Ascension, as they call it, to shed Ordog and take on the Raven Queen, that is a choice that is given to all neophyte when they become an outborn. I chose to remain with Ordog, one of the only ones to remain with Ordog, and hold on to my goodness. The power of Otherweir is corrupting. It is a neutral realm, but there is evil lurking there, deep in the darkness. I don't feel that Ordog is willingly a part of it. He is a neutral god, after all.
What was this trial you were trying to make me go through? Why? I mean,
I merely created the illusion of a world for another to populate. This was a. I don't want to call it an experiment. I've done it before. It was a trial, yes, but a trial to lure the ones who would seek your favor to find out who has been trying to reach you.
Who? I don't need anything. I just need
It's not what you need, it's what
to,
they want from you.
yeah, but I don't want to give anything. I have some very simple things I need to do for Garamond. I just need to stay on track. Why is everybody trying to get me off of track? I don't.
Garamond wants you to make this choice. He
Well,
chose the path of the raven. And look at what happened to
and
him.
he's not alive anymore, so
Exactly.
maybe we won't listen to Garamond.
I am getting old. I grow weary. I do not have much time left. I have spent a lifetime trying to make him whole again. But I must pass this torch to a younger generation. You and the short expectations and Savior. The Dark Lord doesn't know. We can use his creation against him.
I don't want to use Xavier for anything.
I don't either, but the construct will be Ordog's and Spiralia's savior.
What about the the Modus conduits and these gates we're closing? I mean, what does this have to do with anything? Why is the Pharaoh sending me on this chase? Why is Garamond sending me on this job if it's not what we should be focusing on?
The Raven does seek to annoy the Dark Lord, which I appreciate, but they do not give back to Ordog what he has given to us. To them, all of them, when they were neophyte themselves. I've struggled with this. I left the Pharaohs on moral grounds. I would not make the choice. Not like Garamond did. Not like my sister. I am here to show you what the other side is like.
You mean the crazy side?
It
The
is lonely.
Oh, that's okay. I'm kind of used to that. You're choosing well if you're choosing somebody that can live alone in a cabin for 20 years.
Listen, I chose my path. Corvus brought you to me. Vengeance is her path. And together we once made meals of men, but I left that organization too. You have two bloods within you. It draws the eyes of the gods. You have a choice. Garamond and I, we made our choice. But what is your path? You must decide.
Not answering that question today. Said it about 10 times.
She smiles and closes her eyes, continue to stir, and then all of a sudden the eyes open wide, glazed over white. Her voice goes robotic, almost demonic. In a deeper tone over the high voice of Mother, you hear her say, "You of the two bloods will be the one to shatter the chains of Spiralia." She coughs, wincing, and her eyes return to normal. I fear I can't keep this up much longer. They are very powerful, the ones we have called here. I may have
Who are,
summoned too many at once.
who did you call here?
Listen, do
What,
you have any questions for me? I can answer quickly. Not too many. I called the
no,
Dark Lord, the Raven,
what do we need to do to protect Xavier?
and Ordog. Savior, you must help him find his memories. Others like him.
Okay. Um, That's it.
You gasp awake from some kind of
Oh.
spell, still staring at your reflection in this onyx mirror. You feel fatigued as if some time has passed, a lot of time. Your arms, they drop, sore, like you've been holding them there for hours. The smell of the cauldron brewing has stopped long ago. It's cool in the room. You hear Mother's voice whispering lightly. You sink down, almost winded, exhausted, and notice that there's something in your hand. Two Taroka cards. They're turned on their backsides.
Do I see Self Keen?
You look around and you see Safki, and she's peering through the shelves with the glass jars on them, kind of trying to
Still.
eavesdrop
Oh.
on Mother, listening to the whispering. You see Lindell there also kind of creeping up towards Safkeen. Genevieve is clutching her head like she's just come out of something, and Xavier stands with his arm out from the Albemic, turning and looking behind at Lindell, and begins to open his mouth like he's about to speak.
I'm gonna flip over. What are the cards?
In your left hand, the raven, and in your right, the Dark Lord. The same cards that Genoa
Oh, this.
pulled for you. But the reading was much different. And as Xavier begins to speak, that's where we're going to end. Because
Okay.
he got to say something, I think. He was the only person that wanted to say something, and he went right before you, so.
Oh, when
Yep,
he woke
so we'll
up.
start with whatever Xavier was going to say.
Yay!
All right. So this is the point where I did the interview with everybody else, but I just want to do a little recap because there was a lot of like information dump. So if there's anything that you were like, wait, what was that? Who? What did they say about the blood and the what was that phrase? If you need to have any of those
Well,
details.
okay. So I saw the tombstones with Antalon, Aluxia, Traxaluxia,
Hmm.
and then I got up to the big tree. Oh, no, I also saw different tombstones with Hex and Bane and Garamond and Helen something. And
Jillian Talent,
oh,
Garamond, Dranendir, and Hexen Bane.
how do you spell Dranendir?
Dranenendere. Dranendir.
Okay. And then I got up to the big, I'm calling it the horny tree.
Hmm.
I got up to the horny tree and I saw the 9 graves with our names and then the names of people I didn't recognize. Corvus, Leomander, well, Carlton, and then Lilith Raddick. And then
A blank one at the far
the,
right.
and a blank one. And then the Galthius tree spoke to me. I recognized his voice as the voice in my head. So now I'm like, well, that's not Ordog's voice. That's not good. Um, he said a bunch of stuff. He asked me if I love Ordog and stuff. Said I'm hungry. So the raven's plucking the fruit. And then I ran after the raven. And I talked to Hex and Bane. She killed herself to curse the Formorians. And I don't know what that means yet. They wanted me to put on a crown and command an army, but Yu's not into that. She's pretty anti-empire. Um, and then I woke up and I talked to Mother, and she says that Ordog is being con- suppressed or controlled or
Let's see. What was the wording on that? This is. Um, this is stuff that Mother said to you in the cauldron.
mm-hmm.
Let's see. She said that my sister read the Dark Lord wrong. He's not our master. He holds our master in bondage, and Ordog would grant us the power to end his suffering and ours if his mind were whole. But the Dark Lord had fragmented it to make something. He stole our master's power, and we must make him whole again. And then what the Dark Lord doesn't know is that we can use his creation against him. The construct will be Ordog and Spiralia's savior. And then she talked about Corvus, saying that Corvus brought you to me, vengeance is her path. Together we made meals of men, but I left.
Who's Corvus?
You're not sure. And then she said, you have two bloods in you that draw the eyes of the gods, and that you have a choice. And then she went all demonic and said that you of the two bloods will be the one to shatter the chains of Spiralia.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Okay. And then I have the Raven and the Dark Lord. And then to protect Xavier, we have to help him find his memories.
Mm-hmm. And find the others like him.
So, did I have any idea before this that the Dark Lord and Ordog are not the same person?
No, she kind of broke that down for you. Because originally, Genoa read the Dark Lord card as if it were Ordog. But she's saying, no, these are different entities. My sister read it wrong.
Okay. And then I have the Raven and the Dark Lord in my hands. And then I woke up.
Yep,
Okay.
that's it. Alright. You have any questions for me?
No.
Alright. So, next time, you guys all get together and share what you guys found in your dreams and deal with the unreliable narrator effect. And we'll see what you guys can figure
Yeah.
out. I'm really excited to
Okay.
see what happens. Anyway,
I feel like this isn't stuff that you would want to talk to anybody in the group about. She's not
right, and you don't have to. You can kind of keep some of it close to the chest if you'd like, because stuff's starting to get big, like cosmic big.
Hmm. Okay.
All right.
I love you.
I love you too. Okay, we'll end there. Bye.
Bye.